It's story time. Long ago, probably a good 10-15 years ago, I remember going into a GameStop and seeing a PS2 game by the name of State of Emergency. The artwork on the case didn't really catch my attention, but what did was a small sticker that GameStop had placed on the case that claimed that you had to be 18 or older to purchase it. Why in the world would I need to be 18 when games like GTA 3 didn't contain that little sticker? Want some more gore? Call of Duty player style cursing rampages? Major boobage? I didn't know, but I passed this game up multiple times because I always found something else that caught my eyes more. But recently, I came across it for only a few bucks, and I just couldn't pass it up. So what forced this game to wield that unsightly 18 plus sticker? Even now, I don't know. I played the game for only a few hours because that's all I could take. Because, well, State of Emergency was just disappointing to me. So let me explain why. There's not much of a plot to the game. You're just told that there's some revolutionary force known as Freedom that is going up against a corporation, who is inciting martial law because of constant rioting. You play as one of 5 Freedom members, and depending on the play mode has different objectives. That's really it for the story. So let me go on about the gameplay, which is identical in both available play types. You just run around, punching and kicking your enemies, picking up and throwing benches and other objects, and grabbing a wide variety of weapons, both melee and firearms. You press square and X to attack normally, and if you have a weapon, you use X to swing, throw, or shoot it. R2 allows you to run, circle picks up weapons, and if you're holding a gun and are standing still, you can use L1 and R1 to strafe while shooting. This is about the closest you'll get to aiming though, as there is no reticule or anything, and standing still is not something you want to do in this game. That's because everything that isn't an innocent civilian is out to get you. There are multiple gangs that are willing to leave you alone unless you provoke them. But there is also the corporation, which will attack you on sight due to you being a rebel. Most enemies fall within a few strikes or bullets. I do find that melee weapons seem to be easier to use, since there's no real reason to aim. But as I mentioned about a whole 30 seconds ago, there's no way to manually choose where you aim. Your character will always aim straight ahead, which can be a headache when you only have 1 or 2 enemies near you. Granted, if you have a whole crowd you need to mow down, you can easily run back and forth, keeping them grouped together and allowing you to shoot them all quickly. In fact, that was the way I found best to kill groups, especially when you're holding a shotgun. And if you're trying to use an explosive weapon, like a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher, forget it. The only way I was successful with the grenade launcher was to fire a grenade in front of me, run past it, and let it explode as the crowd was chasing me. This is disappointing because I really wanted to see everyone explode in a red mist. And that's the game in a nutshell. That's it. An arcade-style beat-em-up with guns. Literally one stage and you have played the whole damn thing. Well, there are some things that attempt to flesh out the game. You have that revolution mode, which is like the story mode of the game. You're given free reign over a stage and need to find a member of the revolution, complete their mission, and then repeat. The game box stated that there was about 140 missions, but there's no voiceovers with these missions, as they are all given to you by good old-fashioned text. I also got extremely angry over some of these missions, especially the escort or VIP chase ones. The VIP one here took me probably a good 24 attempts, because as soon as he sees you, he bolts towards an escape area. And if he runs into one of the shops here, he somehow disappears. God forbid you chase him inside and box him in. And if this happens, you need to manually find the mission giver again to restart it. Ugh. And this escort mission is where I stopped, because this bastard couldn't take much of a hit, and the corporation guards will bypass you and go gunning right for this guy. I just can't take it. The other mode that you get is simply called Chaos Mode. This is the first thing I tried, and I was shocked to find that it was just a score attack mode. You choose one of the 4 available maps, of which 1 is available at the start, while the other 3 are unlocked by reaching high scores. You're given occasional objectives that increase your score, but for the most part, you're just hunting down corporation soldiers and gang members while moving around picking up random weapons. You're also given score bonuses such as blowing up cars, destroying windows, etc. Other than that, you're just going for that high score. After every 100,000 points, you earn a stage clear, which I think just increases the amount of enemies and their aggression level. I can usually make it to the 5th or 6th level before I start getting overwhelmed. It's nice that every enemy drops time and health power-ups, but you need to pick up a lot before they start to actually show a difference, as they don't give you much for each one. And that's all for the gameplay. But there are a few other things I need to mention before I wrap up the review. For one, the graphics are fairly nice for an early PS2 game. Most impressive is the amount of crap happening on screen. There are a ton of people running around endlessly, and the system never slows down. Enemies can also be blown to bits and you can use your limbs as weapon. Kinda cool. One of the biggest things I don't understand though, is the way the escalators work. Let me paint a picture here. There's hundreds of people that are just rioting and stealing shit. Shit has hit the fan, and your character is just trying to survive. But there is one rule that remains in this world. You must enter the escalator on the correct side. You absolutely cannot go up the downside, and vice versa. This actually made me lose a few of the Revolution missions when trying to chase a VIP. And that's State of Emergency in a nutshell. For a Rockstar game, I found it to be a shallow experience. There's only 4 maps available, and most of them are actually pretty small, and the gameplay isn't too varied. I feel like this game was intended to be an arcade game at first, and the Revolution mode was just tacked on. As for that 18+ sticker, I can only assume that's because of the supposed violence, but truthfully, Rockstar's GTA series was much worse in that aspect. Overall, I'd say pass on this one, regardless on the price. I didn't find it to be too interesting or entertaining at all. About 2 to 3 hours in, and that's all I needed to get bored. Final score? 6 out of 10. This is Reaper. Happy fragging.